It's time now to get reaction to what we've heard tonight from Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky. Senator, thanks for coming in.
Good to be here.
Your thoughts of the president's address?
You know, I was kind of underwhelmed. I mean, to hear him talk about the state of the economy, you'd think, well, gosh, there's not 20 million people still out of work. You know, out of work, underemployed, can't get a job, quit looking for a job. I think the debate in our country really needs to be about what policies will work to get people jobs, to get job creation going. And I think I heard more of the same that's maybe not gotten or made the problem any better.
What about this call for executive actions as opposed to, if Congress doesn't act on these items, that he's going to move on his own?
You know, I guess I get sort of a feeling that we're being given a threat or a certain sense of arrogance that, you know, it's sort of my way or the highway. And I don't think that's not a very conciliatory tone. It's not sort of a tone that I think will help us to get anything done. I personally think there are things we could agree on.
Like what?
Well, Republicans and Democrats probably agree on like 2 out of 10 issues. Let's work on the 1 or 2 out of 10. One issue that we could work on, he did briefly mention, and this would be repatriation. Profit earned overseas by American companies, let it come back at a low rate, 5% instead of 35%. We could put that in infrastructure. That can be done, but it's not going to be part of overall tax reform. He also mentioned he would do it, but he would only do it if he could get rid of some business expenses for oil and gas. But oil and gas is the one thriving sector that's really driving employment in our country. And the one thing that came out of his message was he wants to raise taxes on the oil and gas industry.
To hear the White House talk about it, they say if the president fully pushes something and endorses something, that Republicans, many of them on the conservative side, run away from it. How do you respond to that?
Democracy is messy. Legislation is messy. It's always been that way. And if he wants to pass something, he needs to come and talk to us. I'm one, while I am a partisan, I am a Republican, I am conservative. I've told the president to his face at the White House, I will work with you. I recorded a message a few minutes ago, and in my message, I say I will work with him. But he has to come and talk to us. He can't just say, my way or the highway, I've got a phone, I've got a pen, and by golly, if you don't give me what I want, I'll do it anyway. That's sort of the tone of a bully. That's not the tone of somebody who wants to work with Congress.
What prompted you to tape your own message? I mean, is the Republican response from Representative McMorris-Rodgers not effective enough?
No, I thought she did a great job. I thought Mike Lee did a great job. I think that really it's today's technology that drives this. I've done a response every year that I've been here, and it's not really something new for us. It's that, you know, we have 1.5 million people on Facebook. We have people who receive our email each week on updates. So we create videos all the time. I do several videos a week of messages. So to me, it's a natural extension of that. It's not one that I'm trying to compete with anybody else. I think there are many Republican messages. If you listen to all the different ones, you probably hear a lot of the same themes, actually.
Do you think immigration reform moves forward with the House of Representatives taking this step-by-step approach?
Only if he narrows his focus, and only if we make the reform dependent on border security. What I've proposed is that we do expand work visas, but we do it gradually, and we do it by Congress each year voting on whether the border is more secure. And I would make it dependent on a vote each year. Is the border more secure? Is it more secure? Is it more secure? And if it is, we keep expanding work visas to try to encompass those who are here and the workers that we need.
Last thing. You made some statements, asked a series of questions about women's issues and Democrats, and you talked about President Clinton. It created quite a stir. Any thoughts about those statements?
You know what I think is funny about it is so many people bring it up and say, well, why is he bringing up Bill Clinton from 20 years ago? Well, because people asked me the question. I didn't bring it up. They asked my wife the question, then they asked me the question, and I'm a smart husband. If you got to stand up for your wife, you better stand up for your wife. But really, I think while there was a huge amount of media attention towards Bill Clinton and his affairs, this wasn't an affair. This was a workplace sexual harassment, and the Democrats want to be all high and mighty like they're the party that championed women. Well, gosh, their standard bearer seems to be a guy that was committing the workplace kind of violence that we should all be opposed to.
Senator Paul, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Let's find out what America thinks of the State of the Union address. Shannon Bream.